So there are sometimes energies that we're feeling from the crystal that might be frustrating or agitating or feel like they're pushing you in kind of a darker direction. And I wonder if you have had an experience like this. Have you ever had a crystal that it felt like it was pushing you in a darker direction that isn't necessarily in your highest good? I'm curious to hear from you guys because I know me, I have. And I love crystals so much, and that's not normally something I talk about, but the crystals are powerful. And I've learned from my experiences in astral traveling and meditation, psychedelic experiences I've had, and just simply sitting with the crystal in silence, that there are all kinds of other dimensions happening, and that there are other beings and entities and energies that exist, and spirits and all of this stuff. And I think that perhaps they have the ability to enter the structure of a crystal, and then we have the ability to sensitively tune into that entity. Now, most of the stuff I feel from crystals, I get super pumped about and I like to talk a lot about in my videos. And it's always about all the amazing things that I'm experiencing. But there's something else that I experience with crystals all of the time, and I don't necessarily talk about it. So I figured today we'd bring it up. There are crystals and vibes in the crystals that bother me, they make me uncomfortable, and they can agitate me and sometimes just push me a little bit into a state of being that isn't necessarily what I prefer. See, when it comes to crystals, a lot of times what we're sharing is all the benefits and things that we're experiencing, like, oh, this piece of Libyan desert glass is making me feel so abundant, right? I'm making more money, my manifestation is succeeding rapidly. But there's other aspects to Libyan desert glass that I don't really talk about all the time. And it's not the only crystal, because sometimes the Libyan desert glass makes me feel so sick and agitated and kind of frustrated that I have to put it down and step away from it. Sometimes I end up having to take off my Libyan desert glass manifestation belt because it just gets to be such this icky, stagnant vibe. So why is it that crystals can be both giving us amazing energy and experiences and also this kind of ick kind of vibe? Now, I think there's probably lots of perspectives to this. For one, something I've experienced with crystals is that not only are you experiencing the energy of it, but you will be experiencing, the only way that I could think to explain it is energetic momentum from every single person's hand who the crystal has passed through. Not to mention all of the experiences that the crystal has had in its own origin, of its own energy being created, of the formation turning into the way that it is. It's mind-blowing how much stuff can be happening with crystals. For example, one time I got a crystal from somebody, a crystal that I love and feel so much energy from all the time. I had a bunch of them. And I got this crystal from this person, and immediately with that crystal, I started feeling very sick. I started seeing violent images flashing in my mind. I know that sounds crazy. I was seeing dark stuff. I felt like there was some kind of presence or some entity there trying to like come at me or something. And it was only later that I decided, oh my God, I need to take this crystal and put it over here and step away from it, because this crystal has something going on with it and it was affecting me. It was literally inducing a shift in my reality to a different version of things, a completely different timeline. So what I came to is I afterwards learned that the person I got it from had been going through something. So that person I got the crystal from had been going through something when they had it. They sent me the crystal, and all the energy of what they were going through, I know it's crazy, I know. I literally started feeling it. And it literally derailed me. So this is a whole other conversation when it comes to clearing that energy away from the crystals. It is true that sometimes the crystals pick something up. There are really high-grade crystals. For example, take this aquamarine. This is superb, very pure quality. Now, the energy of this is exactly reflected in that way. But there's other kinds of aquamarine, like barrels with the matrix, grown in different places, and they have completely different energies. Their experience in the universe is different. Who they are is different. And so we can have an aquamarine from here and an aquamarine from here and have completely different vibes. Now you guys might be noticing, like, what is up with the film style right now? I have a stick that I hold the camera normally to keep it away from me so you guys can see more of me than just this. But the stick broke, so Ruby, my partner, on the other end of the camera is holding it. Let's go ahead and keep moving this way, Ruby, because the wind is very intense. And you can go ahead and show them the lake. We're in Mount Shasta right now. This is Lake Siskiyou. This is one of Ruby and my favorite spots, and this is actually where we camp. We basically live here at Lake Siskiyou. We're coming up around this corner here together, and that means that when we turn around this corner, the wind will not be as bad, and that'll be good because then you guys can hear us better. So how about we go ahead and pause here for a second, Ruby? So when it comes to crystal energy, it's true that sometimes we're going to want to clear the energy. I do this by using selenite, another crystal. I place my crystals on there. This specific crystal that brought all this crazy energy into my life, oh, we went hard with this crystal, guys. Ruby and I Reiki'd it. Then the following night, I buried it in the sand outside. The night after that, I left it in a bowl of salt. Almost forgot the name for what it is. And then the next day, we cleansed it in some water, then we saged it and Reiki'd it again. And it was totally good to go at that point. So there are sometimes energies that we're feeling from the crystal that might be frustrating or agitating or feel like they're pushing you in kind of a darker direction. And I wonder if you have had an experience like this. Have you ever had a crystal that it felt like it was pushing you in a darker direction that isn't necessarily in your highest good? I'm curious to hear from you guys because I know me, I have. And I love crystals so much, and that's not normally something I talk about, but the crystals are powerful. And I've learned from my experiences in astral traveling and meditation, psychedelic experiences I've had, and just simply sitting with the crystal in silence, that there are all kinds of other dimensions happening, and that there are other beings and entities and energies that exist, and spirits and all of this stuff. And I think that perhaps they have the ability to enter the structure of a crystal. And then we have the ability to sensitively tune into that entity. I'm not sure about this though, to be perfectly honest with you guys. What do you think? There is a completely other aspect to this video I wanted to talk about. And it's awesome. And it's that sometimes that energy that you're feeling, it's just energy that needs to be cleared. But sometimes that energy that you're feeling, that piece of Libyan desert glass that's agitating you, it's probably in your highest good. And that's what we're going to talk about now. And it's the main essence of this video. Now I'm going to go ahead and walk backwards. You want to follow me here, Ruby? Oh yeah, dynamic movement, everybody. Oh yeah. How do you like filming?
Love it.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's really fun.
You guys, will you let me know what you think about having somebody else film it? Does it seem weird? Do I seem like I'm one of those like rich YouTubers? Hey, I'm selling this today and this. Or is it a cool vibe? Like, let me know. I'm curious because never done anything like this before. So sometimes you're gonna feel an energy from your crystal that you might not prefer. Recently, I talked about how I was working with a crystal called Cavansite. The Cavansite has been bringing up all kinds of energy in my life, guys, let me tell you. I've been feeling from the Cavansite angry, agitated, almost nauseous. Now, after clearing my Cavansite and tuning into it a little bit deeper, it became clear this was not energy that needed to be cleared. No, not at all. What this was a reflection of is energy that exists in me. That agitation, that frustration, that anger, that need to control things, that exists within me. And the Cavansite is just reflecting it and helping me to heal and to let it go. So this is one of the really impressive things, is it's all gonna come back to you and how well you're able to tune in and just simply be aware. And what I mean by this is your ability to reflect honestly about yourself and some of the things that you might be going through. Some things that you might have to work through, for example. Because the crystals are always, when they're really, really inducing a very powerful transformation, they are always going to bring up energies that you might not prefer. How about you stand right here if you don't mind, and we'll get the lighting correct. Thank you. Because the crystals have this energy about them, and it brings stuff up. And it's one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to crystals. The crystals bring stuff up, guys. When you put on a high vibe crystal, and everybody's saying, oh, it aids in blissful healing and connecting to angel guides, for example, and you're working with the crystal, and instead all of a sudden you just feel pissed off at all the people around you, and you feel kind of sick, and all of a sudden you feel like, wait, I don't want to work this job. Wait, I don't want to live with this person. Oh my God. It can look like the crystal is coming in and destroying your life, where in truth, that path of you tapping into that angelic energy, the path of you tapping into that higher energy for yourself in all the aspects and all of the layers of your reality, well, you gotta detox that energy. Sometimes we have to confront certain things. Sometimes we have to confront certain things within ourselves and let them go. And now I'm gonna share with you guys how I personally do that. How I personally do it is not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is listen to your intuition and your heart and do what works for you and what makes sense to you. So I'm not sharing with you the right way to do it. I'm sharing with you the way that is my intuitive way in my reality to do it. So keep that in mind. Here's what it is. The Libyan desert glass, for example, is helping me to manifest more financial abundance in my reality. Now let me tell you something. I started wearing this Libyan desert glass manifestation belt that I have and carrying this around, and I think it was maybe a month and a half ago. Maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. Now when I started doing that, my bank account had less than just a few $100s in it. Not even a fraction of enough to cover just one of my monthly bills. We were in a very big lack mentality in my personal reality. It was a difficult time. You know, going to the grocery store and buying anything, I felt, oh my God, I just spent so much money buying this bag of tortillas. Like, how am I going to be able to do this tomorrow? That's where I was at. Now, we're in a position where we are literally able to go anywhere we want in the world, eat anything we want without even thinking about it, buy any of the crystals that we want for ourselves and for our friends. We don't even have to consider all the insane like gas bill right now. And the reason I'm saying this is not to brag, but it's because the LDG, the Libyan desert glass, oh, it works. Let me tell you something. It works. Libyan desert glass brings in money. Like all of a sudden, my parents were always telling me, no, Nathan, you can't have the toy. Money doesn't grow on trees. Libyan desert glass is freaking telling me, yeah, money does grow on trees. And it grows in the air, and it grows on the ground, and it grows in here, inside you. Inside the part of you that makes a choice, chooses to be wealthy, the part of you that chooses to be abundant, the part of you that Sorry about that, guys. Camera battery died. We got a new one in. Moving on. So the LDG, it really does work. It really does work for me. But here's the thing. Just yesterday evening, Ruby and I were sitting down by the lake, having a beautiful moment, and I felt agitated from my Libyan desert glass. I literally felt agitated. I didn't like the energy. It was like heavy, it was kind of gross. I really didn't want that on me. And it's weird because how can something that's helping me and be one of my favorite crystals feel this way when I intuitively know that it doesn't need to be cleared, and that's not what the deal is. And this is what I came to. Me sitting there, relaxing, enjoying that sunset with Ruby, I wasn't really there enjoying it fully, because I was thinking about all the stuff that I need to do for work. Now, the Libyan desert glass knows, and I know with the Libyan desert glass what we're moving towards together. Millions. Millions. I don't even care to say it. I don't care what anybody thinks. Millions. I'll be a millionaire in just a few years. Watch. But the Libyan desert glass helped me to realize that you don't get to that by being constantly sitting there freaking out, trying to do all this stuff. That's the wrong vibration. That is not the vibration of abundance. The vibration of abundance is oh my God, I am so grateful for everything. I am so grateful for everything around me. I'm so grateful for all my friends and subscribers I already currently have. I'm so grateful for the way that we're able to eat and gas our vehicle and pay our bills. I'm so grateful that I'm here in Mount Shasta. This is the vibration of abundance, gratitude, appreciation for what is here now. If I'm sitting there trying to watch the sunset and I'm associating myself with moving towards a reality where I have more wealth, for example, I'm sitting there thinking, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? The Libyan desert glass reaches out of the pocket that it sits in and smacks me in my freaking face and says, Nathan, you don't make more by focusing on how to make more. You make more by focusing on being grateful for what you have right now. And as soon as I realized that, and I had this sigh of relief, oh my God, I can really just sit here and enjoy the sunset. I can really just be pumped for how well things are going. I don't have to be in this state of, oh my God, I gotta do all this stuff. And the moment I realized this, I kid you not, guys, that agitation energy that I was feeling from my Libyan desert glass, instant dispersion, no longer there. So I think that some of the energy that we're feeling from the crystals is definitely something to clear. And I think some of it is just you trying to get your attention. So the next time you feel that your crystal is agitating you or has some kind of weird vibe that you don't really like about it, what I do is I focus in on what I'm feeling. I felt frustrated by the Libyan desert glass, but what did I specifically feel frustrated about? That's what my awareness went to. I felt frustrated that I didn't upload as many listings on our crystal store. By the way, we sell crystals. Thanks for buying your crystals from us. Tag below, coupon code down there for you too. Thanks a lot. But I was sitting there thinking about how frustrated I was that I didn't get up as many listings as I wanted to, right? So tune into that. And then realize what that grand scheme about. That was coming from me needing to control things and me having a certain idea of it. As soon as I realized that I can just be here now and be grateful for what is here, it all dispersed and released. And this is happening with all of our crystals, guys. They're helping us a lot more than we might think, and in a lot of ways that we might not even necessarily know. And no matter what is currently happening in your life, and I don't care who you are or what your experience has been. I really don't. And I realize that that might make some people upset. But I don't care what it is that you've gone through, it's happening for you. Every single thing that happens or has happened is an opportunity for you to choose, how are you going to respond? How are you going to respond? This is your video game you're playing. You get to choose what the next level is. You get to choose the mechanics of the level and the way it works. You get to choose what outfit your avatar is wearing. You get to choose what crystals they have on. You get to choose the location. You even get to choose how they feel about themselves and how they feel about their world. What are you gonna choose? I don't know. The purpose of this video isn't to tell you what you should choose, but this is what I'm choosing. And I gotta tell you guys something. I like the way it feels to be able to choose. I like the way that it feels. So thanks so much for subscribing. Got 3 crystal videos every single week. Thanks for liking the video. Really appreciate you taking a moment out of your time to do that for us. And thanks for commenting below and let me know what you think about this conversation. Much love to you guys, and see you for the next crystal video.